It even tells you what it's set at 80 kilometers an hour. Now I can just chill out. Not whenever I rest my hand, which this hand tends to get sore a lot of the time, I can do that. I have a feeling this bike will give me bad posture though. It is like a lazy man's bike. Oh, listen to that. That pop. Pop, 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 pop. I still think this bike is loud, but I still think it'd be nice to have termies. Although if I can't get a deal on those termies, I would be pretty happy with the way that it is. Now all bikes need is an auto hold feature like cars do. How fucking queer would that be? Oh, it's hard to stop this thing from rolling backwards. I think it might be these boots as well. It's hard to figure out where the lever is because I've got that big fat pad on it. I just got to remember, it is there, just pull your foot back, even if you can't feel it. But I like to be able to feel it. Go on the scenic route. Oh, this person wants to play. You won't get in my way? You gonna get in my way? You for real? You for real? Oh, that felt so comfortable. I do believe your butt will get sore on this seat though, after a while. Like the back of my butt is going to get sore, not the bottom of my butt. Actually, I've never been up here, so I'm going to go up here, find out where it leads. Yeah, it's definitely my tailbone that's sore. I'm just skimming the freaking front wheel off the ground. It just doesn't want to stay down. What road is this? This is a road I don't know. So fuck this shit. Test the brakes. They work. You just got to get used to the fact that this bike has just so much torque. And I keep getting false neutrals because I'm not pulling that lever up enough. I don't feel it. I'm not feeling the click. That's the only big problem I have with this. Apart from that, everything else feels good. The steering feels good. This is quite a bumpy road. I can use my hips to throw it into these slaloms. I wonder where it tells you when traction control's kicking in. It feels like funny when you go over bumps with this thing. Actually, these mirrors give you a pretty good view of everything. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. Very slight vibration. Goes alright. Apart from the fact that they get in the way of me doing filtering. Oh, this bike just wants you to drive like a nutcase though. See, I can ride nicely, just enjoy the views. Now, this is one bike where you could do that because you just stick cruise control on and just be like, ah, yes, the prettiness. And it'd be awesome. Right on. I should have just gone to the front. Why didn't I just go to the front? Fuck, I'm a douche. I'm a douche, boy. Come on, you can make that. No, maybe you can't because there's another car there. His front brakes are pretty grabby. See, you just cruise and it just sounds like a putty tat. Feels nimble. I still haven't gotten the pegs down. Which is very odd for a cruiser. That feeling in my lower back, like my tailbone is like the same feeling I get when I slouch in my computer chair. It's not the best. The best feeling at all, but you get that. It feels way more natural getting into roundabouts though. I always, because see, that was a heavy bump and it didn't rattle me the same way it would on my ZX. It didn't feel like painful. That would have hurt, but I lost my train of thought. This thing is fucking funny as shit. Oh, it's so hilarious. I knew that bomb was there. Those little squiggles in the road too don't seem to bother this bike much. One thing I will say though, I'm going to have to change the position of my camera when riding this bike. Sitting more upright, it's hitting my shoulder more. It's a lot easier to hold this bike without the brake when the bike's leaning forward, going downhill, not uphill. But so far, everything's been pretty good. I'm riding around in traffic, I've got minimal pain in my back and my knees. Like by this time I would be in a lot of pain. I'm only in a little bit of pain in my tailbone, that's about it. So that's pretty freaking amazing. Come on. That initial click to get into first gear is actually like nice. Like it's a nice clang so you know that you've got it in gear. It's very It's very, what would you call it? Intentful. Like the bike's very intent on wanting to go. It's pretty much so far it's wanted to go in every single gear. It does chug a little bit in the higher gears at lower speeds, which is obvious most bikes do. V-twins will normally do that as well. This is definitely nicer suspension to the ZX, as in plusher. It could be a little bit more plush. I will have to change gears more often with this bike than the ZX. I don't get that growl with the Z. I get a nasty little noise from the ZX, whereas this is like, I'm gonna bite your face off. Cruise control is freaking awesome. I can just chillax. Do what I regularly do. And a lot of people talk about the TFT machine screen. As you can probably tell, I don't know if you can, but I'm going to say that you do. It's a sunny day, a few clouds here and there. I can see the display perfectly whether it's in sunlight or not. It's pretty good. So far this bike is meeting all expectations. It is a bit to get used to coming from Supersport, so people that do ride Supersports are going to be like, wow, this is so freaking weird. And they're going to do things weird, like you're going to try and put your foot up underneath you, and then you're going to realise there's no foot peg there. Yeah. But this is feeling really amazing on my back, how I can just chill out like I'm sitting in a chair, literally. It's pretty awesome. Just think, the forward controls could be even more forward. This is like 2 inches back. I'm definitely going to be putting them more forward. Well, actually, this is pretty comfortable. I don't know if I would change it. Maybe one bit forward. Did it again, shifted the wrong way. I find that this bike is like so much better for the city. Not in the sense of filtering, because it's, as you've seen, like, I can't filter anywhere near as easy with this bike as I can the ZX. But in terms of comfort and riding long distance in the city and starting and stopping, it is way better. Except I keep getting neutrals because I'm not used to this gear lever. Like, not pulling up hard enough. I prefer to shift down with up because shifting down tends to be easier for the bike to get into, like to push the bike into, than it does shifting up gears. There's probably a reason for that. I don't know it. Something gearbox wise. Ooh, choke. Definitely prefers to be a little bit faster than 15 kilometers an hour. I chose a shit road, didn't I? Well, I don't want to do that. I don't like getting up in between two trucks. Come on, Sportivo, show us your sportiness. It is a pretty, like, probably one of the nicest stock pipes I've heard though. There's not many bikes that have stock pipes where they actually sound decent. this time I don't have a shit ton of cops around, so I can actually ride this thing good and proper. This one creepy looking cemetery. Who wants to do a Ouija board? 6-foot ninja doing a Ouija board in the middle of the cemetery. I can see the headlines now. Dies from possession. Dies from possession. There's a cop. I'm just testing now how it feels to ride in urban. That's way easier to go around roundabouts. So much easier going around roundabouts. I keep shifting the wrong way. What's going on? Car park. What do I want to go down here for? This is obvious to say I have no idea what I'm doing or where I'm going. So extra urban performs quite well. That's just like how jerky these brakes are. I'm just touching them and there's just like instant stop. These are Brembo M50 caliper brakes, so it's expected that they would be strong with their grasp. Fuck this bloody neutral shit and I'm keep doing. It's definitely not in the prime spot for me because I'm not getting the leverage I need to pop it into the next gear. Oh, tailbone sucks. Oh, listen to that. Just listen to it. Just so freaking phenomenal. I could definitely get used to riding this every day to work. Just fucking, I love it so much. No right sign of Parramatta Road. Are you freaking serious, bro? No, this means I get to ride more. I can hear the very slow, small whine of the straight cut gears. It sounds cool. It's like a freaking turbo, like, spooling down. It's a pretty cute park. Again with the neutral. So suffice to say, this thing loves going into neutral if you don't pull the lever up hard enough. Oh, dead end. Maybe I just don't use the clutch. It is a dog box, but the dog box after all. You can push it into gear easier. No, it's a bit rough though. Most people are like too ecstatic riding this thing, but because I've ridden it once before, I know what it's supposed to feel like, and I know that like it's very exciting. And now I have a chance to be in that mode of, oh, this is my bike now. I'm riding this on a daily basis, so it's not like going to make me spastically excited like it does like when you ride a ridiculously powerful bike for the first time. I have to say, I'm actually enjoying it. I may not sound it, but that's because I'm just so relaxed riding this bike. Instead of being like hunched over in pain, I'm just chilling. I'm just like, oh, this is pretty amazeballs. I do feel a little heat coming off the bike now, but that's nothing abnormal. Like as soon as the fan kicks in on the ZX, it throws all that heat on you, so you know, it's not really any different. Yeah, this is a pretty rough section of road, so the fact that this feels comfortable to do this, even though it is like, obviously to a standard cruiser this is going to be super rough. I mean, like I keep reminding people, I'm coming from a ZX-10R that has been softened, mind you, but this bike still has a softer feel to it, and I think that's mainly due to the fact that I'm not in that position where it's already causing me pain. I'm in a position that's a little easier to take the bumps. And for someone that rides like those, basically the couches on wheels, like the BMW Enduro bikes and all that sort of stuff, yeah, this is gonna feel probably super bumpy, especially when they dial in their suspension. But for me, this is a lot more dealable than the ZX. A lot more handleable. It's not even a word. A lot more fun to deal with. Oh, I know what I should do. And it would be awesome. This throttle though is actually pretty good. Like a lot of V-twins, especially like the higher sung, because it's not exactly, you know, of this quality. You touch the throttle like that, it'll take a second to sort of like add the fuel and do its mixture. Whereas this is like instantaneous, like it's giving you juice. I should actually just go in here and do it. I was going to do it down the road, but I'm here now. We're going to listen to this in an enclosed space. It's already loud. Can't really see anything. Oh, fuck me, that's awesome. Car wash. It's a weird place to put a car wash. Speed bumps not as easy to deal with though. That's pretty funny. How loud that was, it just echoed the whole place. And this is a stock exhaust. It's hilarious. Which street's going to take me back up the Para Road? Well, that one would. Brakes work. I am quite enjoying this. This is like definite hooligan bike. Running low on fuel, I better get back. So, points so far. It's comfortable to ride, it turns heaps good, brakes work really well. What else we got? Sounds phenomenal for a stock pipe. I think the only really cons I have are usually only because of the way that I ride, which is GP shift and a few other things, but that's not the bike's fault, that's just how I ride. It feels comfortable to turn. You go around roundabouts as if they're nothing. Some people find it harder to go around roundabouts on super sports because you're lent so far forward. It is, I find it personally, being 6'4", a little bit more difficult to maneuver a bike around, like a super sport, around tight corners without putting my feet down. It can be done, it's just not as easy. this thing was just like piss easy. Like it didn't even require any amounts of effort to do so. Buttloads of torque in pretty much every gear, except if you're like obviously in a high gear on low speed, which is almost every bike or every engine out there is going to have problems doing that. But I mean, you saw me, I was chugging along in 4th gear at about 60-70 kilometers an hour and then just took off. Like it was obviously not as quick as if I was in a lower gear, but most bikes definitely don't like that. One thing I do have to say is sitting at 14 kilometers an hour just with the clutch out and just cruising along, it does have a tendency. Ooh, shit. Don't be doing that. $2,000 excess. It does have a tendency to surge a little bit. Could also be the fact that I'm almost out of fuel. But I mean, this was happening before I was almost out of fuel, so it is a common factor. The other thing that annoys me is where the light switch is, or the headlights, is a little bit fucking annoying. It is a little bit annoying where it is, because every time I go to reach these things, I'm going to be knocking it on. Although, why is there a headlight there? Interesting. I mean, the reach isn't that bad either. For my arm length, it's actually pretty good. I'm not straight, I got my arms bent, they're just relaxed, dangling down. I'm chill, doing my own thing. This traffic isn't bothering me like it does on the ZX or Super Sport. The ZX, yeah, you can lane filter 10 times easier, so this sort of shit's a bit painful to sit in. I mean, in order to stop this from surging, all I have to do is just ride the clutch more, and it's smooth again. You ride the clutch a bit more when you're down low RPM. I mean, it's bound to happen because it's a V-twin, like, see, smooth. You just feather it in and out like this. I'm not getting any surging when I'm doing that. Just means you have to use the clutch more. That's about it. Lane filtering. I can still do it to some extent. It is a glorious day, riding motorbikes that aren't mine, and just chilling. The clutch is still heavy enough that my hand is getting sore from clutching all the time, but that's expected. Yeah, it is a lot easier to shift this bike when I don't use the clutch, like to actually get it in gear so I'm not hitting those false neutrals. I mean, the other thing I could do is just freaking put a bloody quick shifter on it. Yeah, that's about it. I do love the sound of the engine, like when it spools down. But I'll get back to you guys in a sec after I get back on my bike.